Hey everyone, it's vlog time. I'm on a tea break, so I thought I would just talk to you guys about something that came up yesterday. I had a crisis of faith in my own ability. And we all have these occasionally, but this one was literally just an administration thing. So I'd sent some mixes off to a client a little while back, and then I had archived the project, and they wanted amendments doing, which was fine because I could get full recall the way I was working. And I'd printed everything that had been done in the analog domain back into digital. So I could do the recall absolutely fine. But I had two backups of the project session files and I started doubting myself. Well, it was quite easy because I use Dropbox generally to deliver files to clients. So all I did was popped along to Dropbox. I'd actually deleted the folder, I think, so I had to go into my Dropbox archive and try and find out what session files I'd sent them, just to make sure that we were talking about the same thing. Now, this can be a major problem. If you're doing remote mixing, people can get confused, and that's why I tend to use like a central repository for my mix files. However, yeah, I wasn't 100% sure which of these session files I'd been working off, and I had this nagging fear that I'd started at making amendments, tweaks to a session file, a mix that I'd actually not used, and I'd worked on another mix. So all I did was looked at the end of the session, the end of the mix name. Now I've made it a habit since moving to Mixbus permanently for everything. I've made it a habit to include the time and date on my mixes. And then obviously, you know, if I've got a master going off to a client, I'll do a folder without those, but I'll always have a version with the time and date on, and it's really easy to add. So let's go and have a look over at the export function and just see how you can do that automatically as you are working on an export, a offline bounce. Sorry for the handheld scenario here, but rather than doing a screen capture. But yeah, in Mixbus, if you are a Mixbus user, you can do this really easily by just going to the session export to audio files. And in the audio files section, you can choose all different options about session name, snapshot name, and it'll give you a sort of a preview. Let me get that in focus. A preview of what you call the file. So I usually make sure I add a time and a date and a revision number, and you can change the revision numbers. And basically that really helps, because if you come to the session at a later time or date, you know exactly when you exported that. And you can come back into your session files. Ooh, you can come back into your session files and, you know, you can check which session file, which project file was saved at the same time. So yeah. Okay, so of course you could look at the mix file and right click it or whatever and see when it was created, but I'm always a bit dubious of that, because I have in the past had certain problems where people have had their clocks on the computer set wrong, or files have been copied. I even had a low battery in my server once, and that changed the dates of everything that had been recorded onto it to 1970. So everything that had been saved on it to 1970 whilst the battery was dead. So yeah, just a thought. Stick a revision number in, stick your session name, your snapshot name, whatever. Stick the time and date in, and it saved me yesterday from doubting myself. So cool. All right, I'll see you soon. Catch you later.